I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative, I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go.
Hey guys, welcome back again to Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. Welcome back again to the channel. This is your home for tech, toys, and talk. And let's do a little bit of talking. It is July 3rd, 2024. Why is that date important? Well, one of my favorite movies of the 80s, we finally got a very, very long-awaited and justified sequel, Beverly Hills Cop AXEL F. Now, if you don't know Beverly Hills Cop, well, go back to 1984. It was a cop movie like we haven't seen before, starring Eddie Murphy. This is his first solo starring role. He actually opted for Beverly Hills Cop over Ghostbusters. Kind of crazy, right? It was a real thing. He was basically a smart mouth, wisecracking, fly by the seat of your pants, improvisational cop who broke the rules all the time, conning his way, using his street smarts to bring the bad guys down. Well, in the original 84 film, a buddy of his came to town to visit him. He was living in Beverly Hills, got involved with some not so savory types, and well, while he was visiting Eddie, aka Axel Foley, he was murdered. His buddy Tommy was murdered. So what he did was, being the cop that he is, he took some time off, went out to Beverly Hills, and was on the case to try and solve the murder. Butting heads with the Beverly Hills Police Department, especially with how they do things out there. Eventually teams up with the cops out there, brings the bad guys down, but not without a lot of chaos, a lot of insanity, a lot of shooting, a lot of destruction of public property. It was the 80s. We love a good action movie, especially when things are being blown up and shot up. And Eddie Murphy, I mean, to this day, he's one of my favorite comedians of all time. That movie spun several sequels. We had Beverly Hills Cop 2. And then we had Beverly Hills Cop 3. That one, it was, I don't want to necessarily say ill-conceived, but it was definitely the low point of the trilogy, okay, of the franchise itself. At one point, CBS even tried to launch a Beverly Hills Cop TV show, but that did not do well. So because that failed, that has no place in the Beverly Hills Cop universe. So fast forward all the way to 2024, we finally get a successful sequel, a follow-up from Beverly Hills Cop. Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and 3 are all canon. And this one, right from jump point, now, I know there are going to be some people who are going to look at this and they're going to say, oh, they're playing on nostalgia, because yes, throughout the movie, you were hearing some of the hit songs from Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. So if you're an 80s fan, you're going to love the music in here. We get the original score from Harold Feitmeyer. I always mess up his name. The original score is in there. We get some new music thrown into the mix, but honestly, some of the old music, like Neutron Dance, The Heat Is On, it hits right. It feels so right and perfect in some of the chase scenes, some of the action scenes, and in each of the Beverly Hills Cop movies, with the exception of Part 3, usually in the beginning, you kind of see, like in the intro, the title sequence where you get your credits. Usually you see like Eddie, aka Axel, driving through the streets of Detroit, seeing the various scenery. We get that again. Honestly, even though this is straight to Netflix, so you don't have to spend money on your movie tickets, you can sit in your shorts and your t-shirt, rock the popcorn bucket, fill up your favorite bowl at home with tons of popcorn, have whatever snacks you want. You can pause it, take your bathroom breaks. It's great. It's great. Don't get me wrong. I love the theater experience, but sometimes you got to love the convenience of, one, saving all that boatload of money you normally would spend, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of great. I honestly, I do kind of wish I could see it on the big screen because there's a lot of action. There's explosions, there's tons of great action sequences, and to hear the music on a massive surround sound is something that I am missing. So who knows? Maybe Netflix will do a limited run. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. We'll see what happens. You never know what the future holds. Um, but it was great. We get the actors who play Taggart and Rosewood. They are both back. Taggart was missing from the third one, and I think that was part of the issue. The third one takes place in an amusement park. Think of a Disneyland or Cedar Point type spot, right? The second movie is very enjoyable. This third one, we see some Easter eggs. We got Paul Reiser as Axel's best friend, who is like a chief or a captain in Detroit Police Department. We get Kevin Bacon working for Beverly Hills. Taggart is actually a police chief, so that's pretty insane. It was kind of mind-boggling. I'm like, wait a minute, he's alive? He was pretty old back then. So it was cool to see Taggart, to see Eddie, to see Rosewood played by Judge Reinhold. Kevin Bacon, of course, he's the baddie. I mean, come on, he's so good at playing a bad guy. When was the last time he really played a good guy? Let's be honest, right? We also get Eddie Murphy's, his character of Axel has a daughter that he's estranged to, who actually is a lawyer in Beverly Hills. Doesn't go by the name of Foley. She goes by Saunders. You gotta have that upper crust. And we get a very welcome addition of a detective who's a former LAPD helicopter pilot who is actually a former love interest of Axel's daughter, Jane. I'm blanking on his name. Is it Gordon, Joseph Gordon Hewitt or Levitt? That he was best. I mean, he's been in so many movies over the years. He was in Looper, played the older version of Bruce Willis. He was in a whole host of teen movies like 10 Things I Hate About You. He got his start as the kid in Third Rock from the Sun, the John Lithgow sitcom from way back when. So he's all grown up, and he's the detective that is kind of like reluctantly paired up with Axel. And this is hitting all the right points, all the right action, all the right comedy. Eddie Murphy this is prime Eddie Murphy. I honestly, I know this is a hot take, but I think this is Eddie's best movie in the past 15 maybe 20 years. I know that's a hot take, but I honestly think this is his best movie in comedy. Let me rephrase that. His best comedy film in the past 20 years. Okay? Let's get that straight. He's done some great roles in Dreamgirls and a whole host of other movies. I loved him in Life with Martin Lawrence. The two of them are supposed to be teaming up in another movie in the future, so I'm looking forward to that. But honestly, I think this is Eddie's best comedy role in the past 20 years. He is back and badder than ever. I mean, this is old school Eddie, and for someone his age, that's right. I mean, the original Beverly Hills Cop was in 1984. That is 40 years ago. 40 damn years. He's like in his 60s, almost 70. He's in his 60s, and he's running around. He's doing these stunts. And honestly, he's not missing a beat. I mean, we obviously, it's the same Axel Foley, but the world has changed, but he's still rocking around. He's still coming up with his scams and his street smart ways of getting things done, and it's just phenomenal. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I mean, I don't know what more I can say. Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, it is a straight home run. If I'm going to give this a score, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. No movie is a perfect 10 out of 10. Well, there's some exceptions. But for this being a sequel of a movie from 40 damn years ago, Netflix, you guys are pulling on my heartstrings. You're getting me You got your hands wrapped around my soul right now. Last year they did Power Rangers Once and Always, where they kind of brought the surviving old school actors of the original cast of Power Rangers back, and they told a story that was something for the old school fans. They played on nostalgia, and as a fan of that, they freaking killed it. They knocked it out of the freaking park. They made fans like me want more and more and more. That's how I feel. That's how I felt about it. And they did the same damn thing again with Beverly Hills Cop. The way they wrote it, the way they threw it together, this was a Don Simpson movie, just like the original one was. They killed it. The writing was on point. The action was on point. Yes, everybody looks a hell of a lot older, but they're still down for the action. Judge Reinhold, and the actor, I forget his name, who plays Taggart, they look old as hell. We all do, let's be honest. But they still pull it off. They can still throw down with the action, and it's a home run. It is a friggin' home run. Am I high off of nostalgia right now? You damn straight. I'm not gonna lie. This is what Beverly Hills Cop 3 should have been. And I think that was 1994, maybe 95. This one, this is a home run. If you like Beverly Hills Cop, you want to see an updated Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie, this is it. And they have the door open for so many more adventures. Eddie Murphy and some of the other actors have even said there are more stories to tell. There are, and I would love to see it. Hypothetically, and I'm not trying to cause any trouble, but hypothetically, they could set up a limited Netflix series. Maybe 6 or 8 episodes every year or so. They could do Beverly Hills Cop where maybe Eddie has transferred to Beverly Hills permanently to be closer to his daughter. That's definitely something that they can work on. That's definitely something that would be doable. You don't have to do 20 episodes a year. You don't even have to do 15 episodes. Like I said, do like a couple, maybe some 40 minutes, 45-minute episodes, a couple episodes a year, or every other year. They could do something like that. But I'll say this. They could easily adapt that. It's Netflix, but given Eddie's age and Judge Reinhold and everyone else's ages, we even got Bronson Pinchot back as Surge. That was awesome. That was very awesome. But given Eddie's age, and Eddie's never really committed to a TV show outside of Saturday Night Live back in the 80s. So I couldn't see him being tied down to a TV series. However, he has said that there are more stories to tell. I would love to see at least another 1 or 2 Beverly Hills Cop movies. As long as they keep the rhythm, they keep the writing and the action, they keep that formula that they had for this one. As long as they keep that going, if they can keep that momentum going for another 1 or 2 more films, I will co-sign that right now. I will co-sign that all day long. Now I know a lot of people are going to be throwing shade at me, like, hey, this is not everyone's cup of tea. Hey, I really never was into those movies. Listen, you go into this, you're going to have a great time. You want to see a smart ass cop fish out of water, trying to solve a mystery. And, the reason why Axel leaves Detroit this time around is because his daughter is in trouble. She's a lawyer who's doing a pro bono case because she believes that this person is innocent. He's being convicted of being a potential cop killer. But what happens is she's threatened. Rosewood, Billy, calls Axel, lets him know, and Axel's on the first flight out. Him and his daughter don't talk, they don't communicate, but he's there. He's doing what he can, as only Axel Foley, as only Eddie Murphy can. Coming to America 2, personally, I think was just a paycheck. A couple years ago, he did Coming to America 2 for Amazon Prime Video, it was just a straight up paycheck for Eddie. This was a passion project. You could tell this was a passion project because Eddie hasn't had the greatest success with comedies the past decade or two. I mean, what was it? Pluto Nash, Haunted Mansion wasn't well received. Don't get me wrong, Norbit, great one, great film. But seeing Eddie kind of return to form, return to Axel Foley, I think it might be a rejuvenation for him. You know, I mean, I would love to see maybe him pick up Golden Child again, maybe do a second Golden Child, or, you know, he hasn't really been one for sequels. Beverly Hills Cop is his only franchise or his only movies he's ever done sequels to. He did Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd. It was a one-off. Some of those characters did reappear in the very first Coming to America. But Eddie's known for not doing sequels. It's one thing that he's kind of been pride upon. But Beverly Hills Cop, I think, is that exception. This time around, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, it is a straight home run. It was a very enjoyable movie. It didn't feel like it was being forced. It didn't feel like it was slow paced at all. It had a movement. It had a momentum. It had a rhythm, and it will keep you guys. I swear, you guys give it a chance. You will enjoy the hell out of this movie. Okay. When it comes to The Dimension, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. It was great. I loved the hell out of it. I'm going to be rewatching it over and over again. I literally just finished it, guys. I can't tell you guys how much I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. Okay. It's Eddie Murphy back in his prime comedy state. Plenty of action. It's just awesome, guys. So if you're a fan of Beverly Hills Cop, or you know someone who is, tell them to log on to Netflix. Tell them to go ahead and check this out. I have no affiliation with Netflix. I just thoroughly enjoyed the hell out of this movie, and it didn't cost me a dime. Just my regular membership to Netflix. That's about it. But guys, that's all for this episode. Let me know if you watched Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Or hey, if you want to come on to The Dimension and discuss Axel F. or any other movies, please message me at Daves_Dimension on Instagram, or email me at davesdimension78@gmail.com. Normally, movie discussions are something that me and Dre, the Collector Safe Space, normally do on the Outer Dimensions podcast. We're on a little hiatus because a lot of craziness has been going on in our lives that will be returning very, very soon. And I can't wait to discuss this film with my brother Dre. But guys, until next time, you know what I'm going to say. I say it every single time. Keep on busting. And I'm always going to catch you on that flip side. Take care, guys.
I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative, I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive, you know I'm about to go